Aloha and welcome back to the Empowered Empath podcast. So, we have a lot to go over as usual. I want to talk about a couple of things. One is the energy and what's going on with that because it's kind of nutty right now. And secondly, the law of attraction and manifestation seminar that I have that'll be coming up. Let's talk about the seminar really quickly, then we'll get back into the energy report and kind of what's going on there because that's a good order. So if you haven't heard about the Law of Attraction seminar, that is on my website. You can get on the wait list and get on early bird pricing if you're on the wait list for the next couple of days. So you will want to make sure you do that soon if you're at all interested. And then in the next few days when I announce the date and all of that, then it'll go to full price. The reason that I did the Law of Attraction, or I'm doing the Law of Attraction seminar and the Manifestation seminar, same thing. The reason that I'm doing that is because I've noticed, and people have emailed and asked me a lot of questions about it, it's hard for a lot of people right now to get back into the rhythm and the flow of working with universal energy instead of against it. And this was something that a lot of people were finding a lot easier prior to COVID. We were working on systems and really starting to feel the vibe of the energy, being able to move with it, understanding and connecting with it. Our spiritual memory was just really aligning with universal energy, and you could feel the power and the connection and how that all came together, how that you could utilize your manifestation techniques in a way that was really powerful and working for a lot of people. And then when COVID happened, it just jolted everybody out of what was kind of going on. There was a lot of fear, a lot of worry. It's not unusual. It's actually very common when you get into something like that for a lot of fear and worry to sort of take center stage. But it went on for so long that a lot of people have trained themselves back out of that place where they were connecting with universal energy, where they were understanding universal energy. They were feeling it. They were naturally working with it instead of in a state of resistance, which is where most people are right now. Most of my friends and family, you can feel that they're in that state of resistance. You need to, at time and time again, when something like that happens or different things happen in your life, many times retrain yourself, reconnect with the process and the techniques that you were using prior to an event happening. That's not uncommon. And the cool thing is once you start reworking with that aspect of your spiritual body and your spiritual self, right away you have this spiritual memory that will return and you'll be like, oh yes, I forgot about this. Oh man, this feels so much better. I like this place. I like this vibe a lot better than where the vibe has been for the last couple of years. And so we're really going to get into the nitty-gritty of re-transitioning yourself back into connecting with universal energy, understanding it, and being more aligned with that than you are with fear and worry and everything else that's going on. So that's going to be the most awesome seminar. It's going to be excellent. Like I said, keys-to-the-spirit-world.com is where you're going to want to go if you want to get on the early bird special. Otherwise, I'll be announcing it soon. Okay, so let's talk about this energy because, wow, that's been fun. Not really, but okay. So a lot of this chaotic energy started prior to the full moon of last week, about a week prior to the full moon. The emotional intensity behind it was just off the charts and absolutely insane. So you might have noticed being way more emotional than normal. However, it's affecting quite a few things. And so we want to cover those, or I want to cover those, so you kind of know what to look for and you're able to compartmentalize the universal energy, the energy stuff, as you're working through, just life's issues, and be able to separate that from, oh my gosh, this is just happening to me. Remember, that's really the helpful thing about these energy reports, and why I do them is because when I'm teaching about how to compartmentalize energy, if you're an empath or moonchild and you have this heightened ability to read energy, you really need to learn how to compartmentalize energy. That is absolutely a necessity, because if you cannot learn to compartmentalize energy, you start taking on all the stuff you're tuning into, all energy that's out there, and taking it on as your own energy, and somehow you're responsible for it. It's part of your life. This is happening because of, my life situation here, my life situation there, when a lot of times that's not even true. Partial things will be related to your life, but you want to be able to compartmentalize the larger aspects of the energy you're feeling and reading, and not read it into your life. You want to, like I said, compartmentalize. And I know I've said that like 8 times now. Okay. So the first thing that you're probably noticing is sleep just went out the window. You might as well have forgot about doing any of that. And you might as well just table that sleep is not happening right now. That, again, started about last week. You might find that you're waking up very early in the morning and you're like, well, guess I could get up for my day right now at like 4 or 5 a.m. Wide awake. That is the one thing that drives me so nuts when it comes to these waves, is when I start getting into the waves that are causing high frequency energy at night, which is why you're not getting any sleep. And then I find that like, even last night, it was like 2 a.m. and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I have to go to bed. Like, I literally have to get up in the morning. Can I just run off like 4 hours of sleep or whatever? And turns out I can. That's the other weird thing about this wave, is turns out it seems like you only need like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Weird, very weird. The thing is I'm not a morning person typically, and I do need my sleep. I value it. I love it. But when the energy is so high frequency at night, that I don't need it apparently. And the universe is like, that's not happening for you, so might as well forget about it. So you're going to want to be writing that out for a while. There's no point in fighting it. It's not like you're going to get overtired typically when the energy is higher at night and it's causing no sleep. And kids are really typically affected by this as well. My grandkids are, definitely up right now. And like I said, you're going to notice that you're not as tired. There's just no reason fighting it. That's more exhausting than just going, okay, you know what? Apparently I'm not going to need as much sleep right now. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is there's the way that the energy is moving right now. For those who are intuitive and find that you tune into the energy around you, or you may not even know you tune into the energy around you, you're going to feel this chaotic feeling, this sense of like it's circling. It feels like it doesn't really have much of a purpose. It feels confusing, and it feels very, imagine it kind of like energetic storm or something like that. It's hard to see things. It's hard to get clarity, like if there was fog or snow or whatever. And it's hard to kind of get a direction. So that is okay that that's happening. But what you will want to do to sort of make it through this energetic storm state is you're going to want to actually use your head more, which is so funny because I'm always like, no, intuition, mindset, intuitive mindset. We're working with that. But in this particular energy wave, energy phase, you will want to sort of use your head to get things done, line systems out, make lists, get things handled that you know that you need to get handled, and just allow it to unfold that way. So kind of let your head take a little bit of a forefront on this one, because intense energy waves causing chaotic energetic storms can cause you to be very emotionally intense and feeling very emotionally charged, and it can cause you to feel like you're going in 18 different directions at one time, which therefore you can't make a straight decision on some things. So how do I explain that? Is I typically notice that my life usually runs on the vibe of everything. So I'll be like, okay, if I got to get this task done, I feel like I need to do it this way, or I'm going to follow this vibe, or it has to feel aligned with, it's right in that chest center area. You vibe with how you're going to do something. You're going to vibe with that system. You're going to vibe with the timing. You're going to vibe with, I need to get this task done, so I'm going to do them in these orders. Well, I've just thrown all that out the window because that is just not happening. And so I started making lists, and I started just going, okay, this needs to get done, this needs to get done, and this needs to get done. And so I just used, you use your head. You start going, okay, well, intuitive stuff isn't helping right now very much. We need to go the logical thinking route. And then once you start doing that, you'll find that things start flowing better as you're handling the tasks. So let the brain sort of take a front seat on this one, get things done, and get things handled that way. I know, kind of strange, but it will work for you, and the energy will calm down. We don't want to have you freezing up because you can't feel the flow or the vibe of where you're supposed to go, because we still need to get things done. So don't be reaching for the vibe as much right at this moment. The next thing is relationships. Relationship energy is super, it's like brewing. It's like just in this pot brewing with emotional energy and just the vibe of the universal chaoticness. And it's bringing up a lot of stuff and a lot of emotionally charged emotions. You will want to steer clear of any major relationship issues or hashing out important things right now because of this emotionally charged energy. It's just on the higher side, and it's also surrounding relationships. So you're not just feeling emotional. It has a side of feeling emotional with relationships. So that's sort of theming right now. And that's never good. Never good when you're wanting to hash things out or deal with important issues. So you will want to table that a little bit, because just give that some time, because you will most likely say things or react in a way that you will not, I don't want to say regret, but you won't be like, I could have done that better had I waited, because it just came from a place of this chaotic energy. So you want to table that. You will notice that you might feel like you're walking on eggshells with relationships, whether it's your boss, your friends, family, coworkers, romantic relationships. You might feel a little edginess from them and on your part. So that is natural with this energy wave. So don't take it personally. You always want to try not to take it personally. That is one thing you can do. That is one thing I'm pretty good at doing, is when it comes to these energy waves, you can go, okay, I know I wouldn't normally react this way, but I'm feeling really heated about something or whatever. That's a very good way to compartmentalize the energy and go, okay, well, if I feel like I normally wouldn't react this way, something else must be going on. Something else is intensifying this emotional stance I have, etc. So that it can be I find relationship energy, or that area, is easier to compartmentalize and categorize from this is my stuff to this is stuff out here that's affecting what I feel like is my stuff. You don't want to bring that stuff out there to affect your stuff, right? So you definitely want to give that a minute, table some emotional energy stuff that's going on, and just wait for a few weeks to handle anything major. The other thing that I think that you might find interesting, and I kind of found interesting, is ailments right now, health. Different things you might find are popping up, and not necessarily major ones and not pertaining to one particular thing. So you might find that you're having colds, more allergies, more sicknesses. But the other thing is you might find you're having more physical ailments. Well, those are physical, but you know what I mean, like such as sore muscles, hurt a knee, pulled a muscle, aches, any of things affecting the physical body, those might be popping up right now. And that's kind of interesting. The reason that typically happens, or how, I guess I would want you to know how you would want to look at that. You know how, let's say that you got into an SUV and you went on trail driving. I was going to say trail riding or something. I don't know. You went on a back trail that was very, very bumpy and there was no road. It's not paved and you're just bouncing all over the place. And let's pretend like you don't have your seatbelt on. And you're going to be knocking into, the door and the seat in front of you and possibly the ceiling if you're being jolted around a lot. And by the time that you get done, you are probably going to have felt very tense from the energy. Or, I'm sorry, that's what's actually happening is you're going to feel tense from the energy. But you're going to feel tense from the ride. And you may notice that because you were bracing yourself a certain way or doing whatever, that, you may, you hurt your wrist or you hurt, your ankle or you hit your head maybe, you see what I'm saying? So that is kind of similar to what's happening. When the energy comes in like that, a lot of times we brace ourselves with the spiritual body. And we're trying to kind of create stability in a sense. Because when chaotic energy and energy that feels very stormish comes around, spiritually, we're trying to grab onto the ground. We're trying to create it so we're not being rocked so hard. We're trying to bring stability into our life. And we sort of brace in a way. Well, when the energy is very strong and intense like it is right now, then you're going to find that you probably are being, bumped around quite a bit. And just physical stuff can appear or happen. It's very strange, but it just happens. Physical things can develop because your physical health is very much dictated by your spiritual health, right? We've talked about that before. I've gone over that in some seminars. And so the way that the energy is flowing through the body really needs to be moving properly. There needs to not be any blocks, any resistance, any things of that nature. It needs to have the ability to flow nicely through the body and then out the body and around the body without being stuck or bumping into blocks and things of that nature. Once you start bracing, once you start tensing from the energy that you're feeling, and then you're kind of relating that energy to things going on in your life, which makes you tense more, and you don't realize you're doing it, that actually causes blocks in the body energetically. So where things were flowing properly prior to that happening, you've now created all these little dams and imagine like sticks and rocks and things, in the energetic river that you got flowing through your body and that's collecting debris. And so instead of any energy that you would be collecting being able to move right out your system, any toxic energy, any negative energy, low vibration, just being able to flow through and move out, when you're creating blocks, energetic blocks, it gathers and it pools in different areas of the body. And so the energy is not flowing properly, then physically the body goes on a physical scale. Well, we're having some issues over here and this doesn't feel right. So, we're just, this energy can't move. And then I guess we're creating this area of the body with this stuck energy in mind, because that's just how it's being created with the energetic cells. And then energetic or ailments develop from energetic blockages. So we want to do our best right now to relax and not tense with this energetic, chaotic storm that's happening. So you want to try to remind yourself to relax as much as humanly possible to approach things in an easier manner, not from a state of resistance. So if your intuition is working, great. If it's not working, then start making lists and keep going on with your life by using the logical side of your brain. If you're dealing with people and their emotions are highly intense, move away from that. Realize it's not you. It definitely is the energy, but relax away from that as best you can. Try not to overreact with stuff. Try to keep that sort of like not a part of your relationship, but separate from your relationships with anybody. Don't take things personally. Try to move yourself. Don't overreact to things. When it comes to just feeling the energy and people feel frustrated and you're feeling tense from your day, use this as a constant reminder to really let go of anything that's stressing you out and tensing the body, tensing the mind, tensing the energy right now, and to pay attention to letting that go. Which brings me into the last thing that I wanted to talk about is now's a very good time for self-care. So self-care is going to be very important right now. It's going to be at the forefront of a lot of things. Now's a good time to focus on yourself, not things that are going on around you. So now is not the time to be feeding energy into relationships that are not flowing properly at the moment, because that's energetically what's happening. So forcing it to flow properly isn't going to work. Now's a good time to not be focusing on trying to just force anything to be resolved, force work issues to be resolved, force financial issues to be resolved, it's just forcing any of this energy that doesn't feel right to be resolved right now. It's like going to be beating your head against a wall. Now is a very good time with this really strong energy to be prioritizing self-care. Any appointments that you need to make, paying attention to relaxing the body, massages, meditation, anything that results in taking care of yourself. Because along with this energy, there's kind of been a really strong message with it, which is you've been taking care of a lot of people, but not yourself. So if this rings a bell for you, that you're just constantly taking care of people around you, your workspace, kids, family, spouses, this is the time to pull the energy back from trying to fix things around you, because like I said, it's not going to work. You can't force it into being right now. And to go, okay, this is the time for me to take a break and do me. It's time for me to get all the things done that I've been meaning to catch up on. It's time to handle, maybe you need to get back into exercising. Maybe you need to pay more attention to what you're eating. Maybe you just need a break. Maybe you just need a day off, just doing your own thing, something that you are enjoying. But this energy wave has a strong theme of bringing forth us neglecting our own spiritual self. And so that is what I'd like to leave you with at the end. And something to think about is it is you time right now. So where this can feel like it's sort of jacking up energy on all other parts of your life, and you're going to feel like you're going to want to force them into being in the flow, it is now the time to focus on yourself, because that's where you're going to benefit. That's where this energy is going to be beneficial. The intensity behind moving things through the body, healing the body, doing self-care, meditation, exercising, eating properly, taking care of your health with doctor's appointments, and all of those things, that is going to be where the positive lies with this energy. It's going to be fantastic. The timing is perfect for this. And the theme behind it is very much promoting self-care. So we will want to stay away from the resistance part, and we will want, which is everybody else, anything going on outside of us, right? And we'll want to bring this powerful energy into a self-care cleanse. That's basically what it's the positive aspects of it is. It's a self-care cleanse time. It's time to revisit what you've been neglecting, and that is going to really get you moving the energy through the body and really taking care of things where we're going to be aligning with universal energy, working with more powerful manifestation and that sort of thing. That's something that most people forget about, especially if they have kids and careers and family. Women a lot of times do it. You just do everything for everybody else and you neglect kind of what's going on in your life. And it's like, okay, that's an age-old theme of just what happens. But when you're trying to align with energy and really stay spiritually healthy, there will be points with these waves that the universe will be like, okay, you can't do that any longer. This needs to be handled right now. And then if you work with me on that, if you get into the flow of self-care with me right now, your self-care cleanse, then I'm going to help you even 10 times further after this is done. You're going to feel way more in the flow than you felt prior to this storm coming in after this is done. I'm going to work with you. I'm going to take you with me. We're going to work together. We're going to align. So that's going to be the first step through this storm of aligning you with this higher vibrational frequency and really clearing out anything in your own spiritual and physical body and moving the direction you want to go. So hopefully that you found this helpful, and I will be talking more about the seminar coming up when I announce it. So I believe that it'll be announced in the next couple of days. So don't forget to stop over at keysofspiritworld.com. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure that you like and or subscribe or comment below. All right. Hold on and work on your self-care cleanse this week and probably next week. Actually, just keep working on it, okay? All right. Have the most amazing day. Aloha.